Dunkin' has a whole new line of handcrafted signature lattes. Blueberry Crisp, Caramel Craze, and Cocoa Mocha. They're so delicious, you'll realize that you've been spending a whole latte time drinking the wrong coffee. So even though you've been together for years, it's time to say goodbye to your ex, Coffee Place. Because you've got a latte love for Dunkin's signature lattes. Sipping is believing with Dunkin's new handcrafted signature lattes, like Blueberry Crisp, Caramel Craze, or Cocoa Mocha. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
What's the focus? Pop culture, movies, and TV news. What's the focus? What's the focus?
All right. This is WTF, What's the Focus podcast, giving you that sweet Matthew McConaughey entrance. I am your host, Ryan Kerrigan, and join with me, as always, Mr. Mike Michio. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? How you doing?
Doing all right. And special guest, Mr. Dylan Eichenbaum. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
you sly son of a bitch. Welcome.
Welcome,
all right,
my friend. Welcome.
So we have.
Thank you for having me.
that was like a little clinky glass, a little cheers. I liked it.
That was. You like that?
Ooh.
Yeah, I did. I heard that nice and clear.
Those stones just clang together.
Don't say that. Don't say your stones are clanging together.
Hey, I'll let the audience decide.
They're going to go with you. I know they will. They will.
Yeah, they will.
All right. So just a little breakdown of what we're going to be doing today. Again, this is kind of a focus of the week segment. So each of us is bringing a little bit of a different topic. We're all going to discuss it. We'll give it our rating, and we'll kind of go from there. So starting off, it's going to be kind of, I think, the briefest segment because this is a brand new season. We discussed this series about 4 or 5, I think, episodes ago, right, Mike? And something like that.
Yeah.
But this is an Epix original series called Perpetual Grace LTD, and we are about 5 episodes deep. And man, this is one of the weirdest shows I've watched in a very, very long time. Have you guys even had a chance to watch any trailers or anything about this?
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, go for it.
I just saw the trailer and I remember thinking it was really interesting, but I don't remember anything about the trailer.
Sure. Yeah. Well, even if you watch the actual show the first time, like I did, I was like, what the hell did I just watch? I mean, they do a lot of deep cuts back into little flashback scenes. And whenever they do that, it's kind of NCIS-esque. They go into the whole, black and white filmography of it all. And it's hard to kind of keep track of everything, to be honest. They throw a lot of different characters, a lot of different stories. They expect you to remember certain stories that, go with other stories in the show. And you kind of have to figure it out. I watched the first episode twice just to kind of get a clear grasp on it. And my wife was watching with me, and she just was just like, couldn't even figure it out. She was just like, I can't watch the show. It's too much for me. It's all over the board. And she's not wrong, but you gotta look at this cast and just be floored that a network like FX, which, before this and then, Pennyworth, I didn't really even know this was a network. I mean, I didn't know any shows that were on it. Have you guys even watched anything on FX before?
So, I mean, it's to be affiliated with Epix, right? Or is this a completely different channel now?
No, this is affiliated with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is just the subscription service because, I mean, this has always been a part of, some type of premium package. But I guess this is now, a monthly subscription package now?
Yeah. So you're looking at a low cost of $5.99 a month. Which,
okay, so this is rivaling with like CBS All Access, which obviously gives you access to exclusive shows like The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and all the Star Trek that came on a couple years ago. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That's what the future is supposed to be, basically, is streaming channels, streaming companies, streaming.
Yeah, sure, but it's really confusing right now because I still feel like they have a standard channel service, and then they go ahead and say, oh, now we have also a premium service as well that gives you exclusivity to certain shows. I feel like, what is it? AMC kind of started this with AMC Premiere, but they weren't actually basically stating shows for, like actual exclusivity to certain shows. It was just, not
you could
having
still watch
commercials or whatever. that's basically it. So it's just weird. It just feels weird.
Yeah, and we'll see how well they do with these. Like I said, Pennyworth coming there. Obviously, that's the big namer that's coming to the network. That's supposed to draw in, a larger crowd, being a DC a show, which, again, we've talked about, Mike, is interesting that they're even able to do that with everything that's going on with the DC, their own actual programming, and then Warner Brothers and the whole mix-up that they're having there. So,
I mean, from what I saw in the trailer, besides Sir Ben Kingsley just F-bombing like crazy, what is the show actually about?
So I'll read the description because, again, the show goes in so many different directions. So it follows James, who's a young grifter. So if anybody doesn't know what a grifter is, it's pretty much a con artist, right? As he attempts to prey upon Pastor Byron Brown, who turns out to be far more dangerous than he suspects. So again, that's very, very vague. That doesn't even do it justice to where the storyline even goes. It's one of those weird shows where in the very beginning you see, this drug addict character who all of a sudden is found by Pa and Ma, when Pa is Ben Kingsley, and they take him in. And then from that point on, it's just mayhem with all of a sudden introducing, cops and drug dealers and, all these different people and situations that, again, it's so, it's so weird. I mean, I listen to how many podcasts a week, and when people talk about the show, that's all they could say. They're like, give it a shot, get past the first episode, because it is so weird and it's filmed so uniquely that it's so unique it could seem a little off-putting, almost because it is so different. But again, because the acting is so terrific and the writing is so unique, it definitely drew me back. What
type of inspirations do you think it's pulling from?
It's kind of Fargo-esque, really. Okay. In my opinion, that's kind of where the filming is, like when you actually look at how it's shot. But that would be my closest. That's what I think.
Interesting.
But,
I mean, from what I saw from the trailer, for as far as the cast goes, like they definitely pulled a bunch of like great actors from different series that have been on TV. Like I think I forget his name, but you remember in Westworld season 1,
Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah.
Love me some Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
One of the McBoyle brothers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then I really like what's his face, who's a character actor, has been in a bunch of different movies. What's his face? Luis
Guzman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I always get back to watching him in Waiting, man. I can't help but just think of Waiting.
He's so good.
He's just showing his nutsack to everybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's unfortunately that's just the image that I get in my head, which is not always.
So
great,
is this an original? Like, is this completely original, or is it adapted from something, or is it from a novel, or so, like is this just completely just out of the blue? Just someone just adapted some screenplay, or is it just honestly?
That's a great question. From my knowledge, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't read anything about this being any kind of previous book, screenplay, nothing. I think this is kind of all original, but I mean, again,
that's cool.
I haven't seen anything to say otherwise. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I wish, and I think right now you could do Epix for 7 days free. Okay, before you actually have to pay that $5.99. And I really suggest going on there. And I know we're not giving you a lot of information about it. And I think when you watch the first episode, you will get and understand why it's not a very easy show to talk about, because it's, like I said, all over the board. It's very weird, but it's done very well. But hey, if it's free for 7 days, just go and actually pick that up and give it a shot. I mean, like I said in the previous podcast, Mike, this is one of those shows that people are going to watch, and it is definitely the reason why people are signing up for that subscription. So, I mean, it's doing a well enough job and getting great ratings from everybody to actually start, getting people to sign up. So it's a good watch. I highly recommend it. If I had to give it any rating, I would give it a good. I'm not going to give it a maximum. Again, it is filmed so weird that I want to see how they close out the season. I believe there's only 10 episodes. And we're on the 5th one now. So there is a lot more to come in the second half of the season. And it'll be very interesting to see how they close it down. So, again, a good rating, but definitely highly recommend it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks intriguing. That's for sure.
You said for a streaming service, they're doing a once a week thing, so just slowly dripping it out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's once a week, and which I like. I I appreciate the Netflix of the world where you drop all the episodes at once and you could just binge watch.
I go back and forth on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, the anticipation for a new episode every week, I kind of like that too. It's a little bit of a tease. I like it. But yeah, I mean, I said,
it's fun to see how the community, the online community and whatnot can kind of just ramp up the anticipation, which is really cool. So
yeah,
you can't have that when you just binge a season.
No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, man, the characters in this is so good. Ben Kingsley is awesome. Jackie Weaver. Do you guys know who Jackie Weaver is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, she plays Ben Kingsley's wife in this, and she is just brilliantly psycho.
Nice.
I mean, she just seems like this sweet older lady, and she's just, I mean, I'll just say one of the scenes because it was just awesome. Here she is. She's on these railroad track. There's a bunch of these women and cops everywhere within within Mexico. And she's sitting on the track and she's talking to a cop saying, hey, send that girl over to me. This girl that was getting messed with, and she could sit with me and I'll protect her. And so the cop says, oh, go sit with her. And, she doesn't speak any, Spanish. But the girl goes and sits next to her, and she was using the girl as a distraction for her to escape. And she ends up tying the girl's hair to the train without her knowing. And then all of a sudden kind of jumps off, the train starts moving, and then the chick starts getting dragged by the train, and all the women and all the people and all the cops, see her being pulled and screaming that everybody all of a sudden swarms over to her to help her. And then all of a sudden, she gets out of there. That's the kind of crazy shit. That's just it's just a snippet, and it's so innocent, and she's so sweet in the scene that it made it very creepy, Yeah. But it was like, holy shit. You just didn't see it coming at all. I mean, they just sold you on her being just consoling this little, Hispanic woman. So it was all of a sudden just a big shocker, but that's what the show is. And Ben Kingsley's fucking hilarious. I mean, he is so funny.
Honestly, I feel like I just want to watch this just for what I saw in that trailer with him. Because I've never seen him go off in any role. I mean, he always kind of pretty much, plays, classical. I don't want to say these safe roles, but he's very drama-esque, and, his roles are always mostly serious, and it's funny to see him in such a role. So I'm intrigued to definitely.
And he goes all in too, man. I mean, you could tell that he's very much into this role. You can tell he's having a lot of fun with it. And he just gives a brilliant performance all the way around. I mean, it's just, again, which
kudos to him, man. You've been kind of typecasted for so long. It's good to broaden your range, which is great.
Yep. So here's the first I just found. Here's at least the first episode, the one I'm talking about. In the series premiere, Pa and Ma discover drug addict James on an empty New Mexico road and bring him into their ranch in Half-Acre, New Mexico. So that's what I was talking about, where all of a sudden they bring in James, who's Jimmy Simpson, right? And he's the drug addict. And that's who, brings them in right there. So it's kind of cool, man. I mean, all of a sudden that's how you get introduced to these characters, and it's an interesting way to do it. So,
well, I love that they're cast as Pa and Ma.
Oh yeah. It's awesome.
Name not needed.
Yeah. I mean, they have names in this too. He goes by,
it doesn't fucking matter.
You just call him Pa and Ma, damn it.
Pa and Mom, exactly. That's just lazy writing right there.
That is.
Who the fuck are we gonna name these fuckers? Yeah, that's perfect. It sounds great.
Well, he's a Pa and she's a Ma. Yeah.
Yep, we're good. All right, how many episodes we got? All right, let's pump it out. Let's pump it out because this is Epix. Who knows how long this is going to last?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We'll see. And then after Pennyworth comes in, you have an episode and then cancel, and
Hey, I'm feeling good things for that show. So fingers crossed.
Have you watched any more episodes of Swamp Thing?
Fuck, dude, I'm not going to get into that shit until you start telling me it's bad, and then I'll be like, all right, I'll watch up to that point.
It's so good. It's so good right now.
Yeah, it's 4 episodes in now?
Yeah, it's so good, man.
All
I gotta say, this is kind of my favorite part of your podcast as a listener, where usually Ryan's sharing something, gets kind of excited about it, and all of a sudden Mike just shits all over it. He's like, "Fuck it, it's not gonna last."
Hey man, you gotta have the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta balance it out. You can't be Captain Positive all the way through. So, it is. It works.
I'm glad Dylan brought that up. I've been meaning to talk to you about it, but I was hoping to do it.
Wow! You really chose to do it on the fucking podcast. Wow. Yeah, that's not passive aggressive whatsoever.
During my segment, you both disappear for a few minutes, come back. And it's all
You know what, Dylan? Hold on a second. Ryan and I are about to fucking throw down
over the mic.
Let's go.
Oh my god, verbal harassment.
Yeah. Do we have an HR department? I don't think we're there yet.
No,
we file a claim.
It's all right. I'm not wearing pants this entire podcast, so it's okay. I'm pretty sure that's harassment.
I thought there was a dress code.
No, there's definitely no dress code here.
The only podcast where there's no dress code. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ooh. And I dare you to challenge us on that.
Mm-hmm. And triple double dog, whatever the fuck dare you.
Then it's another story.
That's not happening. That's a bad idea, Dylan.
That's when we lose all listeners.
From the feedback we're getting, it sounds like they can stand our voices. I don't know if they could stand our faces. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just say no.
That might be a hard pass.
All right, so here's my question for you too. So let's say they're making a movie out of your podcast. Who do you cast as you?
Oh shit, that's a good one.
And
Seth Rogen.
It could be on Epics too. It could be.
Oh, that's too fucking easy. You just went to like the coolest, like funniest ginger.
Hey, well, are you gonna hate me for that?
Too easy.
Don't dock me points.
All right, fuck, man. Then fuck you. I'm gonna go handsome, be Hugh Jackman. Fuck it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I feel like being Ryan Reynolds.
I feel like
fuck you.
All right, fuck it. All right, sweet. I'm gonna be Christian Bale. Fuck it all.
Hey, I was trying to get the Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman connection. All right, I had it perfect.
All right, you did. We're always trying to connect the dots here. We can't say enough how much we want a Wolverine Deadpool movie. Yes.
Oh, yes, please. Yes,
the crowd's there.
The crowd is there. The crowd is there. All right. Well, that's all I have for Perpetual Grace.
Awesome. Moving on. No, just kidding.
Always shitting on my stuff, man. Always shitting on it.
No, dude. Honestly,
Captain Positive versus shit, man.
So, if this show, is it going to be exclusive to Epix? You feel like, because I know that some of these shows eventually gravitate towards any type of cable package or Hulu or whatever. So I don't know.
I don't see this moving around, to be honest. I feel like
cool. I'll check it out on my Kodi TV then. Sweet.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah. I feel like Epix is really trying to make themselves, their own name. I don't think they want to, share anything when it comes to their original stuff. So
how do you feel about that though? As the industry as a whole, like I'm starting to get pissed off about all these little subscription services coming up. It's getting annoying.
Looking on the other side of it, I get it. They're trying to compete with these guys, and we don't know the politics. We don't know how they're.
They're trying to get rid of big cable companies, right? But in doing that, like if you start segmenting the market where you have all these different subscription services, that's just going to add up to again a big fat cable bill again. Yeah. So what the hell is the point? I don't know. At some point, I'd like to see some of these services combine. Just do like some type of joint service. Obviously, if it's another network joining with someone else, but yeah, man, they need to start bundling this shit because all these separate subscriptions are kind of getting crazy. If that's where this is all going.
The next step is supposed to be Paramount and Universal are both supposed to come out.
Oh, good Lord. Jesus.
Universal is going to I think it's Universal that owns DC, and they're going to bring and Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was
Warner Brothers DC, yeah.
DC, yeah.
Do these people not get though that you're getting rid of cable to pick up 7 different services that are the exact same price at the end of the day as cable?
It doesn't make sense. And then you have to throw an internet on top of that. Like, it's just.
See, I'm cutting the cord actually on our cable here in the next month, and I just have so many services, man. I don't need cable. We don't watch anything live. When it comes to sports, I have all those different packages, separate subscriptions. I'm just spending an extra $150 a month,
Oh, that was the big deal, the deal breaker for me is that once local sport broadcasting, basically that contract ended with whatever your local affiliate cable provider is. Once that, definitely, that contract ended, like that was the point where I'm like, okay, well, I don't need you anymore, Comcast. Goodbye.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Comcast.
Because I've never liked you, not one bit.
but please, I need you for internet, so please keep my speed.
Oh wait, I only get Comcast internet in my area. I really hope they're not listening. Oh shit, they might just shut me down right here, right now.
Yeah. Me and Dylan are going to end up finishing this podcast. That's right.
Brutal.
All right, well,
Pretend to be Mike.
Yep.
Now that we've our official sponsors for wireless services, why don't we go ahead and move on to our next segment, if you guys don't mind?
Speaking of wireless, let's talk about wireless connections and mobile gaming and how important that is. But go for it, Dylan. What is your focus?
Yeah,
my focus for today is going to be the new Harry Potter game for the phones. Just came out last week.
Oh, I didn't even know it was out. Yeah, I missed that part. I thought that was coming out, so it's already out.
Did they have an early release for that, or is it just a worldwide release? Like last week?
They dripped it out a little bit, so it started over here, and they were kind of dripping it around the world. I think they were probably testing their servers and making sure that
nice
they don't blow them up again. But
and this is from the same company that made
same
Pokemon
company
Go?
that does Niantic. They make Pokemon Go as well, so it was kind of that. Hey, we like what they do with Pokemon Go. Can they do it with Harry Potter?
Another huge license brand, yeah.
Right.
Wow,
and
crazy.
The answer to that is maybe, probably, could be something.
Well, time will tell. I mean, we'll see how they monetize that game. But
I couldn't believe how big Pokemon Go actually evolved into. I mean, shit. I mean, that was all. I mean, that was worldwide.
It didn't surprise me at all, because that's the whole concept of playing that game was to, I mean, the thing is, like, the introduction of that game, it literally made the experience of playing Pokemon that much more immersive, and having a community all playing it.
Yeah, a social factor. You can play any games on your phone, but
it was groundbreaking at the time, which is 2016 that game came out. So, and it's still doing really well. So,
did you both play?
Yeah, I played for well over a year and a half before I was like, okay, my phone battery is obviously getting depleted from this like all the time. Maybe I should stop. This is becoming an addiction. But
I picked it up at 2 different times where I played it, deleted it, and then downloaded it again, played it for a little bit longer, and then just fell off of it. It just wasn't, I don't know, it was too much walking. It was too much walking for me. I was just like, I don't want to walk down this fucking street.
What the fuck do I have a Fitbit for?
Yeah, well, I don't want to walk down the street and be like, oh, fuck yeah, fucking Charizard.
God,
sweet.
Oh, fuck, bro, I'm walking my fucking Pokemon eggs today.
People died from that game. I mean, not to say it's the game's fault. That's just human stupidity.
They did. I saw someone in a car accident from that game.
Oh, yeah.
That shit happens everywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
I need that Bulbasaur, though. I mean,
it is a water monster, and we did go into the water.
Stories of like a 8-year-old kid like crossing a freeway, like just trying to get a Pikachu. Like,
oh yeah, dude, he was straight up playing Frogger for himself. Yeah, it was
like, oh my god.
It depends. Is it a good CP? Is it a good rating?
I know. Yeah. Maybe he had Professor Oak review it for him. He's like, "Hey, man, you might want to. This looks like it's worth risking your life for. So you might want to."
Is this Pokemon worth trading your firstborn for? I mean, that's the question.
Yeah.
Mewtwo,
is the Pikachu wearing a hat? Absolutely.
Oh,
did you guys watch Detective Pikachu by any chance?
No, yes. Not yet. Don't spoil it, Ryan.
Oh man. Okay, well,
sorry. This is Dylan's segment. So
you're just gonna have to get used to
it.
Mike, cover your ears. We're gonna talk about this for about 10 minutes. So
okay, cool.
No,
so
man.
Pikachu talks in that movie. It's crazy. It's voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Does he drink coffee too? Shut up.
He's a coffee addict. Actually,
he is an addict. Yeah, dude. All right. Harry Potter, Wizards Unite. Like,
yes.
What do you love so much about it?
For me, it's I like the Harry Potter movies. My wife is very much a fan of Harry Potter. She plays Pokemon Go with me. I do I kind of did what both of you did. I played when Pokemon came out, then I stopped playing because shit got too hard. Batteries start draining too fast. They're having too many issues. And then we recently got back into it because I was driving downtown nearby and I saw about 200 people walking around playing Pokemon.
Yeah. And
I went, oh, what's this? And they're like, well, there's very specific events. So it can be event driven. And they do a event every month where they have a lot of the same Pokemon appear. There's a chance it's going to become shiny. Now, shiny means, for the collectors out there, Mike, it's a rarity. So it's something you got to chase, you know. But it's super rare version of something that's already super rare, basically. But you know, there's social games, so it depends.
Well, what about the raid battles and stuff?
So they're a little different. They're more of a they're called fortresses, and you're actually like doing a raid together. So you're like going through a multi-level dungeon and facing different foes. So your pleasure with this game is going to be based on how social you can actually be. You know, do you have friends playing? It's not going to be one of those things you can play by yourself and have fun with.
Yeah. I mean, that's more or less where I think the longevity of the Pokemon Go game is at now, right? Like, I feel there is a huge online presence community. People all over Discord have a bunch of like community channels where they are literally syncing up with each other for, you know, basically trying to either get certain types of Pokemon or do raid battles and meet up at these gyms, right? Like it's crazy. It's like actually
exactly
doing a real Pokemon game, but you're doing it in real life. It's like it's bringing that level of realism up to just another level, which is insane on one level, but like it's really, really cool.
But that was the big question is like you have Pokemon you can collect, but what are you collecting in Harry Potter essentially?
Yeah, exactly.
Which they're doing basically a sticker book. You're collecting different characters and things and stuff from the movie and placing them in a book, and you can still level them up. But there's still that nature of, if I want that certain character, I'm going to need to search high and low, possibly spend some money to make my life easier. You know, that's.
So what's the overall purpose for filling out that sticker book? Is it just kind of showboating, kind of like how
personal gratification. You know, it's kind of the same thing as the Pokédex. You're collecting basically, so you
so it's for anyone that's like a completionist, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
But, I mean, we all have that. I mean, I know I do at least, where it's you gotta collect them all Pokemon thing. So this is kind of the same thing. You go run around, and it's kind of a nice little filler, you know, in your spare time.
Gotta get them all, dude. Gotta get all those pocket monsters.
Well, it's a good waiting room game too. You can just sit there and kind of do stuff. But they have one part of it, just like the Ergo.
No. I was just gonna say, can you play this game while you're driving?
No.
Really, Mike?
See, so that's where I dropped off on Pokemon Go, and I'm gonna be brutally honest. All right,
yeah,
because I sit in traffic for about an hour and a half every day, and sometimes I'm just at a standstill, and I wanted to catch a fucking Pokemon. So yeah, for me, and they're really missing out on that demographic or that.
There it goes. It's running the other way. Catch it.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
Mike's just fucking Tokyo drifting into the other lane.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they put in that feature to stop that because it was getting really ridiculous. But yeah, I digress. But basically, what you're saying is like, so you fill out this sticker book, but like, is there any like, are you actually battling any characters from like the actual series? Or like, what's the battle system like? What's the
so the battle system, everything's built to possibly be an AR. So even when you have these encounters, you can do an augmented reality thing where you are actually trying to catch those people or those creatures. But they do have in the fortresses.
How much of that is better than what Pokemon Go had? Because I mean, at some point it just got gimmicky.
Yeah, a lot of it is. I mean, a lot of it's gimmicky. The main reason, main difference I see between everything is that in Pokemon, you collected Pikachu, you were happy about it, you evolved it, you're like, hey, this is awesome. and then you find out it's pretty good at stuff and you can fight with it. There was kind of a gratification of, I want to find more of that because I want to be good at this. And I think that's the only part of it that is a little weak, is that you can get a little burnt out on the regular stuff because you're not seeing. I mean, Pokemon Go has grown over the years, so they're like their 4th generation now. So that's like 400 Pokemon you can potentially go out and collect. Versus a sticker book, I mean, it's hard. You're getting back into a new market. You're in an existing market with a popular IP, but you're not exactly sure. Will this work? Will people stick with it? It made less money than Pokemon did when it came out.
So you just said the most important word right there, money. And for someone, I mean, obviously just came from working on a mobile game. And the biggest thing about any mobile game is for any free-to-play model, even for Pokemon Go, even my time playing it, never spent $1. Never spent $1. So at this point, what do they have that's different as far as hooking the player to actually engage and feel like they need to start spending money?
Well, there's a lot more stuff to buy in the Harry Potter game versus Pokemon. So Pokemon, you could buy some stuff, but
is it aesthetics or is it like more pay to win aspect?
You said well, not pay to win, but it's aesthetic and to make your life easier.
Okay.
So if you want, there's potions that you can use to make catching the things easier.
Okay, kind of like the lure,
that you can
kind of like the lure system, right? The lures and Pokemon.
Exactly, but there's inventories on everything, so you can make potions with ingredients. But there's a potion cap, there's an ingredient cap, there's an energy cap, there's a if you have it, it's a cap for it basically. Gotcha. And you also have like the egg things, but they're port keys. So you can unlock those after walking a certain distance, but you can buy more keys, so you can unlock more at the same time.
Interesting.
So, answer me this.
Riddle me this.
Real, dude. Give him the real.
Riddle me this. Don't riddle me that.
Don't hold back, Dylan.
Who's afraid of the big black bat? All right, so. So, do you use your phone as a fucking wand in this game?
No, use your finger as a wand.
I mean, come on. Are you fucking like Specto Patronum fucking waving your phone in the air like
a fucking moron?
I mean, I'm just thinking about it myself, and I don't have
there with my phone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a fucking bird.
Phone sales are going to go fucking through the roof in this fucking game, man. You're going to see so many fucking people throw their phones.
Seriously.
Because they're doing some spell hardcore, and it's going to slip right out and hit the fucking concrete. But no, I mean, I like the concept of the game, and if it's anything like Pokemon Go, and like you stated earlier, at least it brings people together. It's a whole now community of these people who are being able to play against each other.
So
but
are there motion controls? Like, are people going to be jerking their phones? That's all I want to know.
That's what I was saying.
No to the motion controls, but there is a reason to shake your phone.
Okay, so there's a reason to shake your phone because Pokemon Go obviously had the flick, gesture.
Right.
Well, that's why.
And I always knew if someone was playing Pokemon Go out in public based upon that gesture.
Yeah, but if their wrist was behind their like back or something, you just thought they were jerking off. So it's weird.
Hey, only the pros know how to do that move. Throwing a nice curveball Pokeball right behind.
Trying to sneak a Pikachu right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you big pervs! Only you guys can turn something sexual and Pokemon together.
God, you guys are gross.
So basically, the spells are like tracing on your phone. So they basically give you a spell to do, and you have to trace it as fast and as accurately as possible, and that dictates how well you do.
All right. So I'm gonna read you a quote, and then I want you to, if you could, try to tell me why this quote even exists. It says, Harry Potter, Wizards Unite feels like an overstuffed burrito. It has a lot of things I love, but it might make me sick.
Yes, I agree with. I would say that No.
Pull the positive out of that review.
I do like burritos.
Exactly. That's all you fucking need to know. I love burritos. So great review. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, that's essentially what it is. It's just like half the things out there nowadays, it's fan service. So I mean, They're going purely on nostalgia, purely on hearing that little tune that Mike sang a little bit ago.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Mike, can you sing it again?
Like a songbird.
Oh, you just want background music now?
See, you can feel it though. You can feel the broomstick. You can taste the butterbeer. You can do it, Harry. You're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're so talented.
Oh, dude. Did Snape fuck Dumbledore? That's all I want to know. Did that happen? God, there's so many rumors online. It's crazy.
Jeez.
I don't know. That just turned into a very dark conversation.
I'm serious. Look it up. It's a thing.
Google it.
Captain Positive in the shit.
Go on Tumblr. Go look it up. It's there. I'm sure there's like deviant art of this. Like I'm sure there's something real twisted out there.
Mike's just in the dark recesses of the internet, just researching like
the dark web.
Speaking of, I mean, I still haven't
Jimmy
seen
Simpson and Louise Guzman, in the new show. Do they hook up?
No, that's a sex scene I want to see.
Absolutely. Oh God, where is this podcast going?
I don't know, but it's all about Harry Potter.
So
yeah.
All right. So in what? Okay, let me start that over.
Start it over.
Let me rewind it. That doesn't mean I'm going to edit this out. This is just me, speaking again. So comparisons from Harry Potter to Pokemon Go, you would say what about the most like the actual comparisons that are the closest? Like it's a game where it's obviously a co-op, like community-based game. You go around searching for. I mean, do you go around searching for spells or just battles or what?
Yeah. So they're icons out in the world, and they have to do with a certain subject. So it might be like the dark arts, or it might be like
okay, cool,
ministry or something like that.
So you're equipping new spells then. That's cool.
Well, you're fighting like if I go like downtown nearby, they actually have a flag planted, and they'll show you like, hey, you're more likely to run into these things over here, and then you walk around and you go, oh, hey, there's that thing. It's not quite as intuitive as when you were in Pokemon and you went, hey, if I want some water Pokemon, I will go to water and, hey, look at that. There they are.
So it's got some random spawning, huh?
Yeah, definitely super random. I mean, your chances of finding something, I think that's where it loses it a little bit, and where Pokemon kind of has the built-in advantage is that you have that common sense thing where if you go travel somewhere else, you're probably going to find something different than where you are. And a lot of these IP-driven games that have come out since, like when me and Mike were talking about Jurassic Park, or they even have a Ghostbusters one as well, there's not really a sense of, hey, if I want T-Rexes, I go here.
Yeah. How do you geographically like pinpoint what should go where when Pokemon is just so easily set up for it based upon the whole class type system, right?
Exactly.
Water, fire, whatever, like, plant and everything. So I mean, I can see there being random spawning points for sure, and that could just be annoying.
And going back to what Ryan said, I mean, that's kind of the burrito as where it sits. I mean, there's a lot there, and there's a lot to be excited about, and it does have a good percentage of my focus when I'm not playing Pokemon and or doing anything else. It's all
right. Well, then it's second on the docket for you. After Pokemon, it's time for Harry Potter for the day.
Exactly.
There you go.
But besides listening to my favorite podcast.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
yeah. Well, we appreciate you being on, man. Honestly,
man.
We were trying to very much. Yeah, we're trying to get people on, on a biweekly basis if possible, just going forward. I mean, that's what we've been promoting, and from somebody like you, Dylan, who's just passionate about the games you love to play. I mean, and you're obviously very knowledgeable about these games because you do love them. So,
thanks.
It's kind of what we're looking for. So, no, this has been great. Do you have anything else you want to kind of say about Harry Potter?
Don't just end it that way for the next subject that we're about to go in. We just went
Mike doesn't want to talk about it.
What would you like to talk about? Are you nervous about the next segment or what?
I am.
Are you a little gun shy?
Yeah, there's a lot to go over.
I'm fucking jacked about the next segment.
I am too, but I don't know how it's going to go.
Me neither.
gonna-
Is it hot in here? Is it hot?
I'm sweating. I completely soiled myself. I'm not going to lie.
I'm just gonna grab my pipe,
Yeah.
my smoking jacket, and sit
I
back.
don't even know what that means.
Turn it up to 11.
Crank it,
Ooh.
baby.
What was 10?
I
You
was
don't even
thinking
want
an
to know.
old school pipe, nothing crazier than that. You know, maybe
All right, so
little
on a
bubbles that
on a-
pop out of there. You know,
On a focus meter, Dylan, where what's I mean, obviously it sounds like Pokemon still got your maximum focus, but yeah, where does it rank here for
Yeah, and remember, this goes to poor, to average, to good, and to maximum. So just to kind of clarify good, that would be, you know, you don't have to go buy it right away. You're eager to play it, but you're kind of going to wait until maybe more people play it to get, you know, a better review or a better, you know, feel on the game. Or is it maximum where you're just like ready to rock and roll and just jump right for it?
Bro, are you not
know-
going to do the voice? Why didn't you do the voice intro?
Well, you know, we could have done the bumper for it, but, you know, I just...
I don't get a bumper.
Thought we-
What?
Oh man,
You don't get the Liam, all right?
that's it. You're not good enough for the Liam.
I don't want to oversaturate the water, okay, with Liam, all right?
I know.
Mike,
He's
give
a
me a
very
bump.
busy
Give me
man.
some bump. Do your best impersonation, Mike.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
I don't even know what to do.
I don't know. I need to drink more.
Okay, Dylan, for this
Ron
thing,
Burgundy.
what exactly has your maximum focus? Dylan? Like,
There it is.
Like your strong focus, or is it like your maximum focus? Like, give it to me honestly. Like, I want to feel like I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Get down.
Jesus.
Yeah. Come
There is
on.
a strange obsession you have with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It needs to be figured out.
You've never asked me that, but yeah, I definitely do have a strange obsession.
By the
Is
way,
he
I
looking
totally
forward
watched
to Terminator?
the Annabelle movie today, and they showed the Terminator trailer in the theater again. And man, just seeing the trailer on the big screen was awesome.
You're ready to go hunting?
I'm ready to go hunting, baby.
All right, good.
Although,
Let's do it.
Mike, a little disappointing. I know we're totally going on another tangent, but that's kind of what we do on this show. The CGI was not to par still.
Oh, dude, well, I mean, for that trailer, yeah, I mean, they're not going to adjust that, but I do honestly, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I don't think they're going to touch it.
Really? Ugh, man,
I don't
it
think
bugs
they're
me
going
every
to.
time.
I would be shocked if they did at this point.
Man.
Well, I mean, these are the guys that made Terminator and Terminator 2. I mean, those are some of the most
well,
critically
you know what
acclaimed, best looking.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what it is? They shot themselves in the foot by making that scene so well lit during the day. Like that puts that much pressure on, you know, obviously the artist to render a shot that looks that fucking like flawless.
yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, like it should have been, you know, somewhat even before dusk or something. Like have some type of shadow detail. There's no shadow detail on that model, and it just.
But
looks
this is from the people
Black
making Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
no, it's not. It's not from James Cameron. He's just producing it.
Oh,
That just,
Yeah.
that just means he was there, sat down. He was like, "Hey, man, I like the direction you're going with this. Like, all right, I'll actually help out with writing this story, but I'm not fucking directing this. I got 6 fucking Avatar movies to worry about."
Yeah. That all my fans are pissed off about. They're not already there.
Exactly. Well, you know what
I
he's
gotta
really-
tell you though, man,
know what
the
he's waiting for?
CGI and the older Terminators to me in some aspects look better than the fucking other one. I mean, this trailer, I mean, like it looks like a straight up video game.
Do you know what James Cameron's waiting for honestly for the next Avatar movies? Is that he wants to have, obviously 3D was the big push for the first one. He is a huge proponent for having no glasses 3D. And he's trying to do that with some type of either through lens technology or however that's going to be through any type of new type of projector. But yeah, that's what he's
What
trying.
about a little dot that connects to your forehead that sends you into a virtual reality world?
Stole my thought.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh man, are we just gonna get into it? Fuck it.
No,
Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
no. We're gonna let Dylan finish. What was about
Okay, good. All right, good. All right, what's your damn focus, Dylan? Jesus Christ. Just
I mean,
kidding.
now I'm thinking about Terminator and Jurassic Park. And Avatar.
I know.
Seem to be
God,
You're welcome.
we derailed so hard.
You know, I think the focus, it's got a good focus from me right now. I'm still going to be playing other stuff, or dabbling in console gaming or living life or everything else. But I would encourage other people to download, other people to give it a try. The main reason I wanted to talk about it is being on social media and seeing a bunch of people that I didn't think would play this game download it and say, "Hey, add me as your friend." So I think there's a certain aspect of going out and going, "Oh, hey, what stickers do you have?" I mean, it's the same thing with Pokemon essentially, but Pokemon was such a, super family integrated, long-term nostalgia covered for many, many years versus Harry Potter, which has been out for a long time, but maybe not quite as long. But it's got a nice, good, hard focus for me.
As long as it's hard, I think we're all right.
Wow. Are we gonna get a stiff focus in there?
Segue.
No, I will say this though, to your point, Dylan, I was more of a Harry Potter fan than I was a Pokemon fan. So if I was to pick up either one of those, I would definitely head in the Harry Potter direction.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. Hey man, don't boo me.
I do agree, though, that Mike said you do need a Switch. I would agree you do need a Switch.
Yeah, you need a Switch.
I know. All right. Well, give me some time, all right? We're working out some pretty heavy things right now, all right? By the way, our website...
Buy Ryan a Switch. How about that? We'll start a GoFundMe page.
That'll never happen. These people would be like, go fuck yourself. You can buy your own fucking Switch.
Hey, at least they'll leave us comments saying that.
Well, when you get the sponsor money coming in from Xfinity and Xfinity Mobile, thank you, Comcast, for your consideration.
Oh, I'm quite okay with that. That's fine.
I'll eventually get there. All right. Well, if it's all good to you guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we are going to come back and talk about our last segment, which is going over the first episode of Black Mirror Season 5. So,
okay. I can change first now. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
WTF What's the Focus podcast is brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right. Welcome back from that very short break. We are going to be talking about Black Mirror Season 5, Episode 1.
Oh, geez. Went right into it, didn't you? Wow.
Oh, I had to, Mike. I had to. You know my excitement level.
You put it up right there on a platter for me.
I did. Okay, Mike, just to get it out of the way. All right. I know you're upset about it, but we're going to talk about the actors real quick. Just real quick.
Oh, dude, get that out of the way. Just
okay.
Go.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do some big namers, and then that's it.
Striking Vipers, Episode 1 of Season what? What is this? 6?
Season 5.
6?
5. All right.
God damn it! You know the season. Come on.
Whatever, dude. Right. They did the Bandersnatch thing or whatever, and it just threw everything off.
Okay. All right.
It's like a 0.5.
Yeah. Right. All right. Yeah. So leading off in this. All right. We got fucking the Falcon / Captain America, Anthony Mackie. All right. We got. Again, I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I butcher any of these names. I'm guaranteed to butcher at least 2 or 3, so just accept it. We got Yaha Abdul Mateen II. All right.
Nailed it.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. I only practiced 3 times in front of the mirror. I didn't even need it. But this character you probably recognize playing Manta from Aquaman. So another freaking, comic book character. We got Nicole Bahari. I believe I remember seeing her in the Sleepy Hollow series that I watched. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's where I knew her from personally. And then we have Pom Clementif or however the hell you say it. She plays Mantis on Guardians of the Galaxy. She was just seen in Avengers Endgame. She was in, obviously, Avengers Infinity Wars. So another big name actor. We got Ludi Lin. And this is the last guy I'm going to talk about. So calm down, Mike. Take a Xanax. He was the Black Ranger in Power Rangers, and he's also a runner-up to play Shang-Chi in the upcoming movie for Marvel. So right off the bat, just kind of like you said, Dylan, off recording, man, this is a big superhero cast. So kind of fun to see playing all these different
Big
crazy
names
roles.
doing something that's not a Marvel movie.
Big names doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
Doing
do in the
real
most
big things.
graphic way. I'm in the most
Get
graphic
ready
way.
for the puns and double entendres, people.
All right,
so
Mike.
even just going over those actors, what a great casting to pick some like characters that have played, some pretty, obviously some heterosexual roles, right? Pretty interesting. So yeah, man, Striking Vipers, episode 1 of season 5. Honestly, the highlight of this season, I mean, it's only 3 episodes, but this one, yeah, man, I have just been fucking mind fucked from this ever since watching this. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to go over the basics here. I mean, the storyline kind of, entails, two college buddies, who are, are just best buds, right? And I guess 11 years passes, and they're kind of in different stages of their lives. One more so than the other. Someone has a kid, the other one's still living the party life and whatnot. And they kind of reconvene after not seeing each other for, I guess, is obviously that 11-year period, and they reconnect on a birthday party. And they kind of reacquaint, and with that birthday gift, that I guess who are the leading characters' names here? I think it's Danny and Carl, right?
Danny and Carl. So Anthony Mackie plays Danny, and then Yahya Abdul-Mateen II plays Carl. Yep.
Okay. All right. So the Carl, who is the wild one, who is still living almost like the college life, still out gallivanting and partying and hooking up with women or whatever,
playing a ton of video games, smoking pot.
Fuck ton of video games. Yeah, right? Like, what's wrong with that? Nothing until this episode. Oh, man. So, he gives them a birthday present, and it turns out to be one of their favorite fighting games that they played, obviously, in their college days. And it's
it's literally called Striking Vipers.
The 10th iteration, I guess. Striking Vipers X. X. I think you need 2 more X's.
X-rated, man.
I think you need 2 more X's. Yeah, triple X. So
that or Vin Diesel needs to be in it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that'd be good. All right. Now you're getting my attention.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sequel.
Yeah. Vin Diesel, Rock, go. Oh man.
Oh no, too heavy.
Oh man,
too heavy.
All right, so here we go. All right, the premise of this whole episode is, hey man, virtual reality, obviously introduces new possibilities with, as far as connecting with someone else, right? And in that, like, they actually find that in their favorite fighting game, like, they feel it's so realistic to the point where they feel like, obviously, every sensation, where it's, obviously from fighting to, getting hit and having like all that haptic feedback, and like they're literally feeling every like neuron, so to speak. So in that, it ends awkwardly in their first battle where they just end up fucking kissing. And with that, you're just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, round 1, fuck? Like, what the hell?
All right, but don't forget, they had an epic little fight before that happened, too.
Sure, but that was like 30 seconds, bro. All
30
right?
glorious seconds.
And we know we're watching a Black Mirror episode. We know this is not going to go the way we think it's going to go. So,
well, you should mention it is a virtual reality thing. So it's
that's like what I'm saying. So,
yeah, but the actual component is a little microchip that they actually place on their forehead, and once they actually plug in the game into their remote, and actually pick their characters and press play, then all of a sudden their eyes go gray and they go into this world.
Sure. Exactly. So here's the thing. All right. I mean, where exactly do we say reality or fantasy meets reality in this episode? Because what's really interesting is that obviously VR is having a big push right now. And there are boundaries that are definitely being tested with that. But I mean, obviously, when it comes to the actual, like, the overall physical sensations of feeling and whatnot, like, they really go into this episode of like emotionally connecting with someone else and physically connecting as well, right? Like hooking up. So what's really, really interesting is to see like this friendship almost turn into this like romance on screen. And it's crazy. Like, so they obviously they're finding something in this game that they're not able to find in their everyday lives. And at this point, you can just see these two characters just feel so, almost desaturated with normal day life at that point where, they can't, like, they got to get their fix. They got to like hook up back in the game, and they got to like, reconnect with each other. And obviously, like it's just honestly, it's just a nonstop. I mean, first off, it's honestly, they're just, I guess, would it be interpreted as, obviously they're, masturbating or whatever at that point, but it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But what's really, really interesting is how the episode just kind of goes through like, hey man, are we really actually, into each other? And then they kind of like, meet up at one point and, they test it out. Like if we're actually into each other, let's just fucking kiss and get it over with and see if we have any type of emotional connection. Right. And they go ahead and they do that. And they immediately see that they don't, that whatever the fantasy was definitely in that reality, or, in that fantasy reality. So very interesting concept here. Obviously, as far as, the past, I don't know, couple decades or whatever with online media and stuff like that, like this type of stuff has kind of been like definitely developing, through online chat rooms and what is now, transferred today to like, honestly, the mobile dating apps, right? Like the Tinders and whatnot. Right. So it's interesting to see like how exactly this is going to unfold like later on. But what I really liked from the end of this episode was seeing what is the actual difference between physically cheating on your spouse versus emotionally cheating. And that episode ends with them just being okay with like making a mutual agreement with his spouse that, it's okay for her to go out, because obviously she's feeling disconnected. So it's okay for her to go out and kind of explore her options while he obviously, is, he wants to go hook up with his best bud, which is absolutely insane. But yes, go ahead,
Black
Ryan.
Mirror, insane.
Yeah, I know, right? Like such a crazy ass twist.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I'd like to say that I already purchased the Striking Vipers video game, and it is on your way right now, Mike.
Oh,
so,
yes. Yes. All right. So that's what I was about to lead into. Like this game exists. So like we are going to sign off and that's it. Round one.
And now me, Dylan, and Mike are all more than friends.
Dude, crazy.
Absolutely
crazy.
Oh,
so,
man.
I mean, what I guess I want to more so talk about and push it on to you guys too is, kind of feed it off you. I mean, where do you draw the line? Like, how do you guys feel as far as, how those characters ended up? Like, did you feel uncomfortable with that? Or are you kind of like, hey, all right, it is what it is. I mean, they mutually came to an agreement. So, I mean, how do you feel?
I mean, can you play it in the car?
Oh man! All right, so I know how Dylan feels. He's all aboard. Dylan saw it and was just like, you know what? This is definitely where I want this to go. Absolutely.
This is the future I want to live in.
I mean, if anything, why in the episode? Why didn't they explore different avatars and just like
that's
so crazy?
That was
why was it the
question.
only? Yeah, why was it only those two characters? Like, have at it, man! You got the whole roster at your disposal. Go for it.
Or
Yeah.
switch or try or do something,
Well, at one point he did.
You got all
he
those
fucked the bear,
locations.
right? So he did fuck the bear. So
He did. He tried. He tried
He did.
anything. Just couldn't get there.
He just couldn't get it. He couldn't find that satisfaction.
So I got a couple
But-
questions. All right.
Dude, I'm all for it. Do it.
All right. So if this is some, virtual reality where you feel everything, okay?
Mhm.
And these two dudes are now becoming these new people and they're having sex. Are they just like coming in their pants, or like what's the deal with
Right?
that? Like there's no tissue
Right?
anywhere to be seen? I mean,
Dude,
I'm just
maybe
saying.
it's emotional, guys. Maybe it's a
Right?
I don't know.
One of
I
those
don't
scenes he
know.
should have just like got up and been like, son of a bitch, and just
Exactly.
his hands are just fucking soiled, man. Like,
Thank you.
what the
That's
hell?
That's all.
Even more awkward when his like son is kicking
Yeah.
him. Dad, wake up, Dad.
you peed your pants.
Well, can you imagine if the building's on fire and you're like, God, is it hot in here? Oh shit. Oh God.
And just it was crazy. No, out of all seriousness, when I was watching this, and like I told you guys, I watched it twice, and the first time I I was so blown away just by the episode itself.
Did that happen?
Yeah, but I mean, also just the thing I like most about Black Mirror is it definitely thinks outside the box, obviously, and then it makes you definitely think about just a ton of different, emotions and thoughts, and it always relates to something realistic with what happens in real life, and then it plays off on that to an extreme. So this episode was interesting because, you guys being big gamers and stuff, like virtual reality, maybe not right now, but virtual reality in the future could very much be that. That is not out of the realm of possibility.
So when it comes to that, as far as what is currently available, like you can already put on a VR headset and get into, I guess the app is called the Big Screen app. And you can literally like get into a room with someone else and they are an avatar of someone else. But I mean, obviously the physical sensations aren't there or whatever, obviously, but that's already there. Like you see that, like you can definitely start to connect with the other, representations of, these avatars of like that people pick, and which is pretty crazy. So, I mean, this just one ups it this episode. I mean, so it's just going to be interesting to see, like, 20 years from now or whatever, are they going to actually have something like this?
Yeah. And give me those fucking phones too, man. Those phones were cool.
Oh yeah. He had
they were like
flip screen phone.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
flip screen iPhone like looking thing. Yeah. I was like, those are sick. Give me that. I'll take a flip phone again. Why not? But no,
really, is that all you got from that episode? No,
that's it, man. I got nothing else other than I want to go back.
I want to go. Dude, man, I really miss a Motorola Razr. Really do.
I did have a Razr, and it was excellent.
So did I. Legit.
Oh man, those were the legit phones to have. All the cool
Motorola sponsorship possibly.
See, we're trying everything we can. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, Google sold them, and I don't think they're doing very well.
Yeah, I can't imagine they are. No, but this actual episode was so crazy. So I'm gonna backtrack a little, Mike, because I know you went through it and you did a great job, but you went through it a little fast. And I'm just gonna kind of pick out a little smaller details. And
I didn't care to go through it all the way because there's no point in doing it. I want to talk about the concept because that is crazy. We still haven't hit it.
So yeah, I mean the concept is crazy because what you said is, the physical to mental cheating, right? So this one is interesting because yes, it's mental in the fact that you're going into this virtual, reality and there's no actual reality, physical to physical contact. But in this reality, you are physical. And if you could feel everything, then it's physical to a point. I mean, I know it's not, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, you feel each other in the game. So
is it though? I mean, it's still simulated.
No, it's simulated, but they said that's, some of the best sex I've ever had. I can't stop thinking about it. Like that's obviously them feeling each other. I mean, that has to be the case.
But that's the essence of virtual reality, right? Like how far does that go to the point where you honestly question this is now becoming reality? See, to me, I'm still saying it's absolutely still it's still fictional. It's still virtual. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it doesn't work physically, it's not going to work ever. I mean, in real reality. So the biggest thing I'm trying to say here is, I mean, what's the twist is at the end, his wife is going out and she's going to go bang other dudes.
Yeah, she's going to go get plowed by some young 25-year-old.
Exactly.
But we don't know that either. I mean, that's what Black Mirror did this whole season.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely she did. She even alluded to it earlier in the episode when she sat there at dinner and told him, you know how many sacrifices I have made? Like,
yeah, their anniversary dinner.
Yeah, like she's like, I just went to a bar. Yeah, but
dude, she
alluded to it.
She's going to
alluded to it.
And she's going to get.
She wanted the D, man. She wanted the D.
Yeah, because
it did happen, but that's what Black Mirror does. They leave you.
Remember, she was trying to get pregnant, and she kept pressing him like, "What? Are you just not into me anymore?" So she was very horny.
Yeah, well, not only that, in the very, very beginning, she said, "Hey, that whole role playing thing, I really enjoy that." Like she, she liked that kind of behavior. That's what she was craving that she wasn't getting from her man. You know what I mean? So she was she was definitely going out and she was trying to hook up with some young dude for sure. And that was the agreement, right? She puts the ring in the box. He uses the other box that they get at the end, and he, plugs in to get his 1 day a month or whatever the agreement is. And it's crazy, man.
That's his hall pass, I guess.
Yeah. And I think this show and, this episode, it really is diving into kind of society now with, the Caitlyn Jenners of the world. It's really saying like, you're going to be who you want to be and don't fight it at the end of the day, and that's kind of what I took from that is like it. And again, this is what I was saying earlier about Black Mirror.
That's interesting because I didn't get that at all. Because the thing is, like, he identified as being a male. He literally said to him that what I feel being a woman in this world is so much better than what obviously I experience as a male in the real world. It had nothing to do with he wanted to be in that gender. There was no, at first you're thinking gender identity, but he definitely debunks that later on.
Kind of, but in the same time, it's like, well, then why? I mean, obviously you're saying it's feeling better being a woman. You're obviously not going to change your character now to a dude. Like you're obviously, you're hooking up with another guy.
Yeah.
And you're choosing to be a woman. So you're wishing you were that, that sensation in real life. You wish that was reality, obviously. So for me, that's how I took it at least. And that's kind of how it played into, which is fine because I mean, obviously that's a huge topic at hand. I mean, that's been a huge topic at hand for a while now is just kind of self-identifying yourself and who you want to be or who you feel like you are.
Yeah,
and
which is fascinating. I mean, it's a great conversation to be had.
Absolutely.
And the way that they opened it up, I've never had such a conversation starter with people at work about this episode. It's crazy. It's not. It goes beyond just gaming. It obviously, what I basically wanted to focus on here was, that how that ended, and because people, tend to do this more often than not in everyday life, right? Like they might find different relationships where they connect with someone, and yes, they are not actually, physically cheating, but they are sharing more with someone else than they would with their own spouse, and with that, that constitutes as emotionally cheating. So this just raises that bar to that next level, and I feel like they did a really great job portraying that, in the show.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. Dylan, dive into it, man. I want to know your thoughts on the episode.
Dylan, what the fuck? Dylan, what are you doing? You're just sitting there with a boner the whole time. Come on. Tell me what's going on.
You guys had me thinking. No, I was just thinking about how, you started talking about the actual emotional regards of it, of is it emotionally cheating? Is it, what causes it? Like, is it the fact that they are having this virtual, non-virtual, actual sex feelings with an avatar? Is it that they're having it with the other, their friend, their close friend? Is it the personalities that are coming through that?
Sure.
Is it the fact that they're doing it with with those avatars that are there? Would it be different if you were doing this online with someone that you didn't know and that you were not sharing this information to? Like it was just a way to blow off some steam instead of actually sharing a relationship. You were saying emotionally cheating. I'm just wondering like where we think the line is for that. Where does it start? Where does it stop?
For me, that line was drawn in the show when he goes ahead and says early on when Carl is obviously pleading, with Danny, please, like, we got to keep doing it. Like, dude, it's just porn, man. Like, it's just porn. And then later on, obviously in the world, he actually tells him like, in his, Roxette avatar or whatever, that he loves him,
Right.
And then at that point, I'm like, whoa, like this is going beyond, searching for any type of physical connection. This is now emotional. Like this is you're actually exactly like this point you're like whoa, because at this point you're already so disengaged from your actual wife, from obviously in reality, that wow, where are you going with this? So
and that was the parallel that we didn't really talk about, but the whole thing about him getting older and getting them being separated is that his friends really became a successful, dating younger women and it's having dinner in expensive restaurants, where he's kind of living that suburban, flipping burgers, cooking at the barbecue, trying to conceive a kid.
The flair of life has left him a little bit,
right? And this is kind of the escape, in the fact that he's using. They're both using this somewhat as an escape, is where.
But it's also the opposite too, right? Because the other guy's been out and about, and he just can't find any satisfaction, even though he is.
He wants a normal thing.
He's living the better version of his life that he wants to live, yet he's not even satisfied.
Yeah, you saw Carl out on that date with the girl, and he made a reference, and she's like, who's that?
Who's that? Who's Dennis Rodman? I've never heard of that fucker.
Oh, because of the hair? Like, you know? So you saw his... Yeah, you know, you already saw him already feeling that disconnect, right? So it definitely was a great segue into what we were, going to get later on in the episode.
Well, if I remember correctly, he's doing like when him and the younger woman have sex, like he's winded and she didn't even finish, and she's like, "I'm just going to go ahead and finish," and like he's just feeling so like let down, like he can't do it anymore. He can't. He's living that lifestyle, although Charlie Harper, from 2.5 Men, where it's like, am I getting too numb to this? Have I been living, too crazily too long? And the other guy's looking.
He lost the tiger blood. That's it.
Winning.
He's not winning anymore, and that's
he definitely was.
Unless he's in that game.
Yeah, don't you love it too? Don't you love in the game before they get it on? It's always like a fighting stance. Like she comes at him.
Oh, like it was so good. I love the way they filmed it. Yep,
with her fists up every single time, and then all of a sudden at the last second just breaks down, and then they just start going at it.
Breaks down. That's it.
Like two mice in a windsock, man. They just went at it every single time. I gotta say, I felt bad because every time I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of a hot and heavy scene," and then obviously I just don't sway that way, and nothing wrong with it. But I
round one,
the realization I was like, "This is two dudes going at it." I was like, "This is kind of crazy," and then I was just like, "Man, not for me." Like,
But Black Mirror does that on purpose. They're just like making you think: is it or is it not? It's
that's what's so cool about Black Mirror.
Making you question so many things.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then I think of the character Roxette, and I'm just
some people are put off by it, but more often than not, these episodes make you think more than just obviously deterring you from watching the show. But for this one, it was all about how it ended. That really kind of irked me, because at that point I'm like, wow, what are they really trying to say here? Because the whole way through I'm going, this is just virtual until the point where she says I love you, and then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like now this is getting stupid. Well, this is just stupid now at this point.
I think the ending is supposed to represent, being true to what you want to be happy and being honest about it. So, it's only cheating until she didn't know. And then as soon as she knew and was obviously okay with it, then it's no longer cheating at all. It's an agreement. So, it's interesting to see that as well, because obviously he didn't know how she was going to react. He was obviously scared to tell her about it. And then
that's okay. But that's okay, is what you're saying on her behalf, that you like that agreement that they set up at the end.
I mean, I wouldn't personally say I like it in the fact that I don't think ownership, but I'm also going to say
1-to-1. I do not think it's 1-to-1.
No, but I mean, again, this isn't our decision. This is something that they came up as an agreement. So if it's going to be two separate people coming up with their own rules for their own relationship, then who are we to say any different? Is kind of the way I feel about it.
Here's my question. True. Was the happy ending?
It seemed like it always was.
Yep. Definitely.
How many Black Mirror episodes have a happy ending?
That's true. God. That's true.
I mean, there's only one I can really think of. San Junipero.
Yeah. Right. These episodes. You can
call it happy.
Yeah, I was just that's literally what I was going to say. If you can actually call that happy. But these episodes are great. I mean, I highly recommend to anybody who has not watched this. This is on Netflix. I mean, I have to imagine that a lot of people have Netflix these days. At least go and watch,
Netflix? What
really?
Is Netflix?
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Neckflix. It's where you sell neckties online. It's like a rental service. But no, I mean, it's such an easy watch, really. I mean, it gets you so mentally involved. I mean, like you said, Mike, you watched it 2 more times just today alone.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of soak in for this podcast. But I mean, when I saw it the first time, it was more about obviously it was just absolute shock value that got me. That at that point, I mean, I've had a bunch of different discussions with coworkers about it too, and what's really neat is that this is the one episode I feel I've had the most conversations about versus any. I mean, I've seen all the other episodes, but this one itself. I mean, maybe that's more or less because I work at a game company, but that's mainly it.
That's the first thing I thought of when I was watching it. I was just like, no wonder Mike likes this episode. It has to do with video games. Well, kind of has to do with video games.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not so much the video game; it's the virtual reality aspect of it, right? So it's I mean, we all want to be some better version of ourselves, right? At some point, and I feel like that's what kind of games gives us at some level. So when it comes to this is exploring, almost like a new territory, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, man, this episode blew me away. I mean,
yeah, it was great.
It made me uncomfortable at times, and then all of a sudden it made me laugh at times because there were some funny parts in this. I mean, their banter back and forth as friends, I mean, regardless of the situation, there was still some pretty funny scenes where they were just kind of razzing on each other. You know what I mean?
That casting was great.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. And I loved the wife. I thought she was excellent. I mean, she obviously wasn't the main focus of it, but I thought she played off of Anthony Mackie just brilliantly. They actually paired up really, really well together. And shit, man, go watch it.
I feel the casting itself, the way that, I mean, obviously since who they casted, it set up the shock value that much more because of who they picked, which was pretty cool.
Well, they're both upcoming, hot for the intents and purposes of
exactly
beloved and highly requested.
Exactly. And a lot of people that watch comic book movies are going to be watching this because they're like, oh man, I want to see Falcon. I want to see, Black Manta and Mantis. Like, I'm going to watch this. And then
surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We didn't really go into a spoiler alert on this, but yeah, maybe we should do that on the podcast.
Oh, we'll put it in the description.
But, yeah.
Or you'll put it in the description, I should say. But no, definitely.
But,
I mean, we just blew this one. We just blew the load off this one big time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out for a while, so
it has.
I mean, it's definitely warranted the praise it's been getting because it's been pretty interesting to talk about.
Yeah. No, I'm glad we did too. I was very excited. Once I watched this, I was just like, oh man, I can't wait to fucking talk about this episode. There's so much material to actually work with in this one. Dylan, you got anything else, buddy?
In general, the conversation or other stuff that I'm looking forward to?
Hey, man, if we're all finished up kind of with this, we could definitely go into just some other stuff you're looking forward to. No problem with that.
Oh, we got 4th of July coming up. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man coming out.
Fuck, yeah. I can't wait. I know they just actually had the premiere the Hollywood premiere. And what was that, yesterday, I believe? So there are already a bunch of stuff on social media now and a lot of spoilers out there. So I'm actually staying clear of everything Spider-Man until I go and see it on Tuesday on the 2nd. So
I know. I just saw a screenshot of like him in his noir costume. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's like a direction of, right. You're like, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see anything.
Just like, no, don't do that. I don't want to see that yet.
Don't show me that shit. Yeah.
And there's also a little show called Stranger Things coming up with a new season.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We brought that one up on our earlier podcast as well. That's another one that I am very excited about. So I can't wait for that one. But again, that's a binger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to fucking spend at least like half of my Saturday just laying there and just watch the whole fucking thing.
One does not simply start watching Stranger Things and not finish it.
I know. See, and I like that to a point, but then I also feel like a lot of shit after I get done with it. I'm just like, haven't moved in the last 16 hours.
I find with these shows that you binge through, obviously seasons that come out, you can watch all the episodes, is that you don't necessarily retain the information as much, which is interesting because, I mean, just, obviously from like Game of Thrones or whatever, you mean that in itself,
fuck you, Game of Thrones.
I mean, that in itself definitely had time to sink in because week to week, same thing for Walking Dead. It was more or less the same. So yeah, it's interesting because I'm still like at this point, I'm kind of need a recap on how season 2 ended for Stranger Things because I feel like, when did that come out? Season 2 was that almost a year and a half?
Last year
ago,
something.
No, I think it was longer.
No,
I think
it's longer, man. This is
a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Actually, it came out around Halloween, I think, of 2017.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Because they played up the Thriller song with the trailer.
That's right. Yeah, so it's been a hot fucking minute, man. And like we said, Mike, in an earlier episode, these kids are now grown up, you know. So it's gonna be interesting to see them kind of in a more not adult, but definitely more of a teen role other than just like a little kid.
Do you wonder how many seasons they're going to get out of this?
God, I hope this is it. To be honest, I don't want them to just pull shit out of their. You know, I don't want
Would they have
garbage.
announced that by now? They would have announced that though.
Yeah, you're right. No, I'm not
maybe
saying
one
that's going to
more
be the
and
case.
that's
I'm just saying I don't want them just to all of a sudden start pulling at things that aren't there just to like give more episodes. You know, if they were going to close it on season 3 and close it up beautifully with a nice little bow, then I'd rather them do that than extend it for a 4th season just for fan service. But
well, it's like how much is enough? I mean, Black Mirror they still keep making, but like the last season was 3 episodes.
Well, the nostalgia of this show is the fact that not nostalgia. Sorry, the real drawing factor of the show is that these are kids. I mean, these are now they're literally growing before our eyes. They're becoming adults, so it's going to lose that awe factor, I guess.
Yeah, it's like watching Full House from beginning to end. You know what I mean? It's all these young kids that grow up to young
weird,
adults.
man. Gets weird, man. Like Fuller House is just weird, man.
It's weird to watch. It's very weird.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that one too. That's going to be a great series. But like I said, I hope they don't overdo it and extend it unnecessarily. So, but we will see. Anything else, Mike? Do you got anything you want to touch base on outside of the topics that we already discussed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited I got a couple horror movies I'm interested in that I want to kind of check out. But I mean, obviously there's the Annabelle series from the Conjuring series, but yeah, I know you just saw that today, huh? Didn't you?
I did. And if you want to hear a full recap and actual
no, please don't.
No. I was going to say, if you're a fan of the show, I'm actually going to be on Pop Culture Leftovers recording on Saturday, and they usually drop that either Sunday night or Monday morning. But that is definitely one of the movies that we will be discussing. So if you guys want to tune into them, they're one of my favorite podcasts in general, just on the side. So I mean, I'll promote them really anytime I can, but definitely go and check them out. Definitely this next episode. And, I'll be hopefully being able to, talk a little bit about our show and, how we got started and all that stuff too. So it's good support all the way around.
It never hurts to have some friends in the industry,
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys do a great job and they've been doing it for 6 years and they have a huge following. So I'm just really excited and pumped to be on their show. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one. So that's PCL, Pop Culture Leftovers. Check it out next episode if you want to support What's the Focus podcast. So yeah, pretty awesome. But yeah, go back into it. Yeah, Annabelle.
Yeah. So yeah, Annabelle. And then did you guys happen to see the movie that came out in 2018 with Toni Collette, Hereditary?
No.
This was one of the more disturbing horror movies I've seen in most recent years, and the director is coming out, I believe, in a couple weeks here with his not sequel, but his next iteration. It's called Midsummer, and looks very disturbing from what I could see. The trailer
sounds horrible,
kind of haunting.
Mike's a little twisted.
Yeah, it definitely does. So I'm going to be checking that out. I think that's coming out on, somewhere in the middle of July. So pretty soon.
Okay. Now is that, and this is not
actually,
a dig.
I'm sorry. Next week, bro. July 3rd.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this isn't a dig at your topic, but is this an independent, more of an independent film, or I just haven't seen any previews, trailers, nothing.
Well, do you know Toni Collette, right? You remember the mom who played?
Yeah. No, I know.
So, I mean, she was in Hereditary. So this movie seems like they got some not so well-known actors in this, but Ari Aster is like, he was the director, and very, very disturbing. As far as the imagery goes, is his filming style.
What if you had to compare it to anything else, like just the imagery of it, of another another horror film that was already out? Like, is it like Human Centipede, like fucking craziness?
No, it's
or
not,
is it, you know what I mean?
It's not gore porn. It's more or less, it's true horror to its form. It's
gotcha.
Like I'm saying, it's you pan a shot and you're setting on the characters, but obviously there's something in the background that's maybe semi out of focus that's coming into focus that just kind of creeps you out. And
so it's something that you need to cleanse after you watch, basically.
Yeah,
watch some videos of cute puppies and.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's it has a lot of Kubrick in it, or whatever, but like it definitely does pull from like The Shining to some extent. So yeah, I would check out Hereditary if you've never seen it. It's great. Toni Collette's performance itself actually rivals Shelley Duvall's performance in Shining, in my opinion.
Whoa,
she was absolutely terrifying to watch her performance. It was scary.
Wow, that sold me right there. I mean, you compare those two, and I'm in.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I will absolutely watch Hereditary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, check it out. It's a great movie. Actually, I mean, I think it was. I don't know if it was a Sundance film or Cannes Festival film or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it definitely had a limited release, but it was very well done.
Nice.
So
nice. Well,
check it out because I mean, obviously the Conjuring series. I mean, obviously from James Wan, who obviously is the director, creator for the original Saw, and obviously directed Aquaman or whatever, but and also directed my other favorite series, Insidious. He's obviously a great horror director, but those movies get obviously a lot of attention, whereas these other smaller horror movies need to get some more spotlight, I feel. So definitely check it out.
You mentioned something kind of interesting there. I don't know if you touched upon this recently, but they're making a new Saw movie?
Yeah, I heard Chris Rock.
Chris Rock is directing it.
Yeah, he came aboard and said, I got a great idea for this Jigsaw character. And I just thought that was so interesting. Yeah. They fucking loved it. And they're like, okay, dude, direct it. I'm like, what? So yeah, I'm interested. I mean, for me, the Saw series it's always been connected. Like for me, it's almost like a TV series. All the episodes or all the movies kind of just blend together. So, I mean, if you've obviously just seen the first couple Saws, watch the rest because it's honestly like a show at this point. They just go episode to episode. So, I mean, they all kind of connect to each other. So you're kind of missing out if you haven't done that. If you really, really care about, the lore of John Kramer and Jigsaw, the character. So,
yeah, I definitely fell off that train a while ago.
Yeah, I mean,
not to say I didn't enjoy them. I just, I think after 2, I just kind of lost it. I was kind of over the same repetitive theme of, a group of people get captured, knocked out, they get put into a room with a game situation, and then try to escape with all these like horror devices, and then it just became redundant, and then kind of lost me a little bit.
Wow, I don't like your tone, Ryan. I don't like it at all.
What, you don't like it when somebody shits on something you love?
I don't like it, dude.
Yeah, how do you?
I'm just kidding. No, it totally derailed later on. But I mean, the whole premise of the character itself is one of the more interesting horror characters who actually, is a very relatable purpose as to why he does what he does. I mean, yes, he is playing God to some extent, but it's very, very, very intriguing.
Well, if you ever want to watch a funny video, go look up Jigsaw Funny or Die. And I think
is that the Office Jigsaw?
No, this is this is called Living with Jigsaw. So if you type in Living with Jigsaw, it is a hilarious video.
Hello, Ryan.
Oh my gosh! You want to play a game? Dude, it's just the best part is it's like this little doll, like this little 1-foot doll. And it's fucking with his roommate. And it's like
not a doll, dude. His name is Billy. God.
All right. Well,
his name is Billy. His name is Billy.
Of course, his name is fucking Billy.
Wow, dude. So his son died in fucking utero. You did not watch the series. You didn't watch the series. Don't shit on something when you don't get it.
Billy reminds me of fucking Cable Guy.
I'm done.
I'm just going to say this right now. No, watch the little mini snippet comedy thing of it, and it's
all right. I'll check it out.
You'll enjoy it. No,
I felt some tension there. I was a little uneasy. I gotta say, Mom and Dad.
Well, we need to. We can't just all agree on everything. That's a boring ass podcast.
Yeah, and I'll definitely disagree with everything he has to say about this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, fuck that guy.
No, man. I wouldn't mind checking him out.
Perpetual Grace is gonna suck ass.
Okay, it's already out and it doesn't suck ass, so take it back.
I don't know, man. IMDb had some really bad reviews on the bottom here.
Oh my god,
Oh, man.
IMDb, really?
What?
Really?
What else? What else?
The internet did not have friendly things to say. Stop.
Yeah, come on. No, I wouldn't mind diving into the Saw series. Honestly, they were entertaining. Like I said, for the horror aspect of it, that just for me at the time. And this was years ago.
It's too much gore porn at some point for sure.
Yeah, but not bad either. I mean, I do enjoy it. It was fun, and there's obviously been a bunch of comedy spinoffs and stuff with it. Well, what was that one spin? Was that Scary Movie that they did something with the Saw thing too, where they put like Dr. Phil and a couple other people in there?
God, how many scary movies have there been? Jesus, remember the original one? That was the best.
That was the best. See, that's what I'm talking about. When something was that new, because that was the first time something
that was
like
the first time. Yeah.
Yep. Has been brought in, and that was entertaining as all hell. I will say that right there. Yeah. One last thing for me. I don't know if you guys have kept up on the new Amazon. This is going to be coming to Amazon Prime subscription, and that's called The Boys. Have you guys heard about that yet?
The Boys.
Maybe if you start talking about that.
Okay, so The Boys is a group of vigilantes that are pretty much they're set out to take down corrupt superheroes who actually abuse their superpowers. So these guys are all supers themselves. Okay, so they're now taking out people like them that are abusing it to harm and affect other people. So
interesting.
So what this premise is, from at least what I gather from the trailer, is there's somebody that's being hired to literally babysit these vigilantes. They're saying, hey, these guys are out of control. They need somebody to watch and regulate them and kind of run them, run the team. And they are a bunch of just crazy people who just want to do what they want to do, and no one's going to get in their way. But this one comes out actually July 26th, so pretty soon. It's an 8-episode series.
What? Seth Rogen created this? What?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's already got my interest now.
See, yeah, it's TVMA. They're running an hour long each episode. It's something that I've been keeping a close eye on for at least a few months. And I think that one's going to be a great series. And as soon as they actually release a little bit more, I'd love to bring this one up at a later podcast for sure. I think this was going to be right up our alley for what we talk about on this show. And popularity wise, on Mike's favorite, online service, IMDb, they're doing really, really well. So, expect good things.
Speaking of Seth Rogen,
they're up 261. Yeah, that's a lot of people there, Ryan.
Did you guys ever watch Preacher?
Yep.
I mean, that was another
the first season. It kind of drifted off for me after that.
Oh gosh, man, you gotta come. I mean, talk about off the rails like Perpetual Grace. That's a show that, second season, like the first season's like the prequel, and the second season's where it actually starts getting going, and you start going. That was one thing I tuned in every week and went, all right, they did that, and it's entertaining, and it's everything.
And just off the wall, right? I mean, great comparison to Perpetual Grace, because that is exactly what it is, man. I mean, it's just off the wall, just going everywhere, captures your attention in a bunch of different directions. I mean, I agree. And then
bad shit crazy.
Is that entering its fourth season now?
Yeah, I was just going to say fourth season. Yeah.
Wow.
So that started in 2016, making its way in now. So,
man, time flies.
Yeah, crazy. Well, that's all I got, man. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to bring up or say or do, or how are you guys feeling?
I feel wonderful.
Pretty tired.
I feel like Mike's hot right now. I feel like he's like fucking scolding right now.
But he's not wearing anything.
Yeah, but
it's warm in here, dude. It's like fucking warm. I don't know why. I had too much whiskey.
I just gotta say thank you guys for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, dude. No, thank you for coming on.
Chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fun to be able to just kind of geek out for a little bit and just talk about something that you're thinking about and share it. And I've already learned about some stuff that just wanted to check out Perpetual Grace or some other things coming up. That's why I started listening to you guys on the podcast, besides knowing Mike for a long period of time. But I started listening kind of right around when your Shining episode or the Doctor Sleep episode started coming out. And I messaged Mike and I said, hey, I've never seen The Shining, to which he stopped talking to me for a whole day.
Yeah, man, at that point, I'm like, this guy has no respect for film, not at all. I mean,
But maybe you want to watch it.
I have to punish him at least for one day. One day. You know what, Dylan? If you've never seen it, I'll tell you this. You know what? Don't watch it. Come over when it comes out on 4K in October, and we'll watch it, and then we will share your experience on the podcast, because I would love to hear someone's first interpretations of it.
Me too.
Okay, I can wait.
Yeah, there you go. Wait it out.
We could definitely put you back on for that. Absolutely.
Booked for the future right now. Just pencil it on your calendars, folks. There's going to be a little live stream action.
That's right.
I mean, like I said in an earlier podcast, like that is a movie you got to be isolated to watch. Like you got to no interruptions, turn it up loud, a big screen, whatever, have that theater experience, and just get sucked into that hotel.
Now, I do know what happens to Jack Nicholson, for all fairness. I mean, it is an old movie that has been semi-spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, at this point, it has, but the build up to get there is there's a lot to appreciate, and you will definitely see what they pulled from that, into modern horror today for sure.
Yeah, that's a gem of a movie. You'll have no problem just being enthralled in it, even if you know kind of more or less the ending. It does such a great job throughout the beginning and middle that it doesn't matter at all. So.
I just imagine that, like, How I Met Your Mother, when Ted's showing Robin Star Wars, and he's just sitting there like, "Did you like it?" I'm just imagining Mike sitting next to me. Like, isn't the music great?
I know, right?
Isn't the
dude? No, I might periodically just leave you alone and just vanish in my townhouse, and just that's it.
Wow,
just comes around the corner in a tricycle.
Like, where the hell's Mike been? It's been like over an hour. This film's about to climax.
You're like in the bathroom with Megan's lipstick, fucking right.
Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna be making like zombie groans in the bathroom. Yeah. No, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm playing Striking Vipers upstairs. Dude. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
With me, when it's gonna get real weird, man.
I mean, you can play it on the couch while I'm there. You just
hey Ryan, it's kind of like that hotel scene. It's kind of like that hotel scene in the hallway, right, where Jack looks down the hallway and sees the two people in the room just doing some weird activity.
Yeah, it's just like that, man.
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
Too much for me to handle right now.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I think it's about that time.
Yeah, and like we close out every podcast, you can find us at twitter.com/whatsthefocus. And also we have an email at whatsthefocus@yahoo.com. Although I don't know if I'm going to keep actually saying that until some fucking people start writing to us. You know what I mean? But no, feel free to write to us suggestions. If you'd like to be on the show like Dylan, hey, I have something, you're passionate about or just you want to discuss, please hit us up. We're very open to it. We'll do our own research and try to catch up to your knowledge of, the topic at hand. And then we'll have one hell of a show. So thank you very, very much for listening. And man, we will be back. I believe we're recording again on Sunday, right, Mike?
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man. So I don't know if we're going to pre-tease that or think about what we're going to do, but I'm definitely looking forward to that next week.
Yeah, me too. And again, thank you, Dylan. Appreciate you for being on, man.
Hey, thank you guys.
Dude. Thanks, Dylan.
Much love. Well, hey, thank you. This is WTF, What's the Focus podcast, giving you episode 13. Peace.
Bye.
Dunkin' has a whole new line of handcrafted signature lattes. Blueberry Crisp, Caramel Craze, and Cocoa Mocha. They're so delicious, you'll realize that you've been spending a whole latte time drinking the wrong coffee. So even though you've been together for years, it's time to say goodbye to your ex, Coffee Place. Because you've got a latte love for Dunkin's signature lattes. Sipping is believing with Dunkin's new handcrafted signature lattes, like Blueberry Crisp, Caramel Craze, or Cocoa Mocha. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.